Week 2 NFL bets. Let's find some positive expected value bets using ESPN FPI's model. Hello, everyone. Jonathan here with Excel Bets, and Week 2 of NFL started on Thursday. And looking at the slate ahead for this week, we're going to find some expected value bets using ESPN's FPI data. I've done several videos on what this FPI data is and how to bring it into a model. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull over to Excel and just do a query refresh here. So this is plugged in using Power Query to FPI's ESPN data. Just going to let that refresh. This is week 1 information. So we'll update for what happened after the first week of the season. Takes just a couple seconds to load here. And then we're going to go shopping for some EV bets. So definitely stay tuned. And hopefully I'll be able to identify some positive expected value bets, give you the optimal bet amount based on the Kelly criteria, and hopefully they become winners. All right, so pulled through all the data there. FPI information came in. We got our winner loss. So everybody's either got a 1 or a 2 for the Bills because they played last night versus the Dolphins. FPI updated information. We got the offense, defense. Converting that all to a model here. This is all week 1 matchup. So all I'm going to do is just delete this out. And this is how I go through each week of updating this model, and we can just start typing in the matchups. We got Raiders versus the Ravens, and either you can look at this game in isolation, or if you want to bring in all the matchups at one time, it's up to you. I kind of go back and forth of what I prefer, so I'm just going to go through here, and I got a drop down so you can select different matchups. Again, you can either do this all at one step, or if you want to do it piecemeal, look up a game, type in the next matchup. Kind of depends on what makes sense to you. It should be a good slate of games. Washington, Cleveland, Jacksonville, almost done here. The Rams, the Cardinals, Cincinnati, the Chiefs, Pittsburgh, Denver, Chicago, Houston, Atlanta, and then Philadelphia for the Monday night game. All right, so we got all of our FPI data coming in. Home and away designated. So we'll start off with just looking at our spreads here and then seeing if we can find any positive expected value bets, looking at the spread value. And if you've watched my videos on this, we're going to look at the FPI, look at the offense, defense, look at home field advantage, and be able to come up with a calculated spread value based on all those factors. And then from there, we use this free calculator I have available. That's going to look at spread values based on margin of victory outcomes, calculate that to push probability percents, and then see if moving across different lines makes sense. I'm going to have up on my other screen Sportsbook review. This is what I use for my line shopping, so you can quickly see the blue's going to highlight what the longest odds are. So that's always a good starting point just to see, is there going to be an expected value bet? And it has the different sportsbooks up top. So nice, clean interface, completely free, sportsbookreview.com. Highly recommend it. All right, so let's just go through the games. We got Raiders, Ravens, spread value. Ravens at minus 11 is the actual spread value. And if we look back on our screen, we've got a lot of 8.5s. So ESPN saying that Ravens are an 11-point favorite. All the sports books have them at either 8 or 8.5. So let's go line shop this 8 at DraftKings. That's going to be a positive expected value bet, I'm guessing. So all you do is go up here to the model, type in Baltimore. Actually, we're going to do it here. Baltimore Ravens, they're a favorite. We've got 11. DraftKings was giving them minus 11. So to move from minus 11 up to minus 8 is worth 21 points, or minus 121. So this is our line shopping value. If we've got odds that are longer than minus 121, we want to take that bet. And we do. DraftKings was giving us minus 112. So there's your first bet for the week It's a positive expected value bet, 3.73%. Really nice EV bet there for first game that we looked at. So definitely recommend placing that using ESPN's data. So again, that was a spread value based on FPI. Ravens are 11-point favorite. We're getting -8 line at -112 odds. So that's an expected value bet. In place, if you have 1,000 count value with a 0.25 Kelly adjustment factor, a $10 bet on that. Let's just keep going down. We've got Chargers Panthers as our next one. That's -6.5. So here we've got, let's see here, looking at the lines over. And as you get used to doing this, it becomes much quicker. So we're saying the Chargers are -6.5 point favorite. All the sports books are offering -5. So there's another most likely EV bet. We'll plug it into the model and see. So we got the Chargers up here. -6.5 is the fair. We're getting -5 on Caesars. There we go. Here's another one. So there's a second bet for the day. We got spread. That was Caesars at -110. So the fair odds would have been -116. Anything longer than -116 would have been a wager to place. So there's another EV bet. Not quite as favorable as the Ravens, but still a 2.4% EV bet. So there's your second bet to take. The Chargers to cover the spread. Again, ESPN saying they're a 6.5 favorite. We're getting -5 at -110 odds. So great bet there. Colts Packers. Basically, that's a push game. And we're getting +2.5 on the Packers at +100. Let me pull this over just so you can see what I'm looking at. So Packers +2.5 or +3 at -120. So we can shop both these, or we'll do that -115. That's longer. So we'll shop both these. We'll do the +3 at -115 and then the +2.5 at 100 odds. See, both those should be positive EV bets, but let's just do both shopping here. So we got the Packers +2.5. So +2.5, that's for a 17 to move from 0 up to 2.5. So we'd accept -117. We're getting 100 +100 on Bet365 and Caesars. So another really good bet to place. That was 100. So a 7.76% EV bet. So really good for the Packers to cover the spread there. And then let's check out that 3 spread on BetMGM for -115. Not quite as favorable, but still a really good EV bet. So another one, if you want to have a little bit more assurance with that +3 to get your field goal coverage of a push, or you could do the +2.5 on Caesars. Both are positive EV bets. So we are just going through them here. This is good stuff. Next one, we got the Jets and the Titans. I'm seeing a lot of -3.5. So Titans are +2 underdogs whenever we're getting +3.5. So let's go see what that works out to. Tennessee Titans, 3.5 is what we're getting on, looks like FanDuel at -105. So another really good opportunity there. Let's go ahead and plug that in. We got the FanDuel. That's -105. So we're getting that 3.5. We're going to get a cover. We're going to get a win if it's a field goal loss. So great EV bet, +12.72. So Titans to lose by a field goal or less versus the Jets. Another great EV play. So right now, every single matchup's presented us a great opportunity based on ESPN's FPI data. I will have a link to this model in the description. Highly recommend you check it out. You can see we're going through. Got several bets already. This doesn't take a lot of time. As you get more used to it, it just becomes easier and easier. So next one, we got Seahawks Patriots. I'm seeing 3.5 or 3 for the line. We're seeing 2 for the underdog. So Patriots are coming through a little bit stronger than what the sportsbooks are offering. Let's see if see if that movement is actually positive or not. So we got 2 as our value, 3 is what the sports books are offering, so that's worth minus 120. We've got plus 100 on Bet365. All right, I don't have Bet365 on my list. Let's add them real quick. If I can type. Okay, Bet365, and that was flat odds. So there's a 9.22% expected value bet, $23 if you've got 1,000 account value. All right. Maybe one of these won't be a bet to play, so we'll see. We're ticking off. Here we go. So here we go. That was timely. Bucks, Lions, 7.5. 7.5 is the spread value. Let's pull over our sportsbook review. 7.5 is consistently, and then you got your vig in there, so minus 110, minus 110. So there is no bet to place on that Bucks Lions game. We're saying that's fairly valued, and that's how to read it. So they're not always going to be positive EV bets. I think we've just had some good run of luck with the first several matchups. We got Saints Cowboys. Sportsbooks have that at 6 or 6.5. We're saying the Saints are only a 5-point underdog. So let's check this out. So 6, our break-even odds would be the minus 110, which is what everyone's offering. DraftKings is actually giving us minus 108, so there's going to be a slight bet to place there. Not a lot, but again, you want to just consistently place anything that's positive. So yeah, a little bit over 0.71%, so much tighter, and then the Kelly adjustment factor is going to make that wager less. Higher expected value in combo with your implied win percent increases your Kelly bet criteria. So there's another bet to place. Keep going down. We got our 49ers and Vikings, with Vikings a 5-point underdog. Looks like all the sports books have that. Yep, everyone's at 5 at minus 110, so there's going to be no bet there. We got Giants and the Commanders, 3.5. And we're seeing the sportsbooks giving the Giants plus 1.5 and the Commanders minus 1.5. So this is saying that Commanders are stronger than what the sportsbooks are saying, minus 1.5. So we got another good bet here. Commanders to cover that spread. Got minus 1.5. Who else offering that? FanDuel is. Let's just plug that in. Just want to be consistent here. All right, great bet here. Almost 11.6% EV. That's 31.84 bet. So there's another great bet for you to take. And we'll go through and do the Browns, Jags next. 3.5. We got a bunch of 3s. So let's see. This one's probably going to be really close. So we're going from 3.5 down to 3. That's worth 16 points. So we do not have a EV bet there. And then we look at it from the Jacksonville side. We're getting minus 3, so minus 116. And we got BetMGM. So here's one. Giving us minus 105. So nice 5% EV bet there for the Jags to cover that 3 spread. We're saying that they're a 3.5 favorite. So you get that push at the field goal win, and anything above that, you're going to get paid out. That's a good bet to place. Rams, Cardinals. We're saying, here we go. This will be a good EV bet. So the FPI is actually saying the Rams are a favorite. All sports books are actually having that reversed. I'm going to pull that over just so you can see that. So we're getting on all these sports books, the Rams as an underdog, plus 1.5 here, plus 1. So there's going to be an EV bet. So you see something like that, that's a pretty easy one to conceptualize. Oh, that's going to be an EV bet. Going to 1.5. So that would be no one there on the 1. I am actually going to have to stand corrected. That line movement we are actually going to not have an EV bet there because you factor in, so moving from -1 to 1.5 is worth 13 points. So fair odds would be -113. And we got the -115 or the -120 on FanDuel on BetMGM. So there is actually no EV bet to place on that, even though at face it seemed like there was going to be. That's where the odds come into play, even though, yeah, the favorite and underdogs flipped on you. They've got that added juice in that line, and it's not an EV bet to place. So you need to have a model to be able to tell you definitively and objectively if this is an EV bet or not. All right, next we got the Chiefs as a 7-point touchdown favorite. We got a lot of -6s. We got a -5.5 on FanDuel. So let's go see what that looks like. -5.5. So moving from -7 up to -5.5 is for 22 points. So there's an EV bet, and that was on FanDuel. We're getting that at -110. So almost a 5% EV bet for the Chiefs to cover that 5.5 spread. Got a couple more games here. So hopefully you're able to watch this video, have several bets to place. Now, obviously lines move from when I do this, but I think there's enough here where there should still be some favorable bets for you to place. Or you can pick up this model and update it and run it yourself, do the line shopping, and be able to find some. Okay, so we see the Broncos as a 1.5 underdog. BetMGM's giving us +3. Let's see what that looks like. It's worth 24 points. So here, another great example. So it seems like on face that would be a good bet. We're getting -125 on BetMGM. Fair odds are -124. So that is not an EV bet. That's a good example there. Let's check out what that 2.5 movement looks like. So that would be -108. Here we go. So even though that extra half point, if you go to DraftKings, we're getting -102. So we actually have a positive EV bet on DraftKings at the 2.5 spread versus the 3 at -125 on BetMGM. So that's why it's helpful to have multiple sports books and do your line shopping, plug it in, and actually be able to say if that's a positive EV bet or not. Last one for Sunday, we got the Bears at +7. Seen a lot of +6.5s. We got the Texans as a 7-point favorite versus 6.5. So we can plug that in. I don't think that's going to come as an EV bet. -6.5. So we need anything longer than -110. Everybody's offering 110 or higher. So nothing there. And then our Monday matchup. I noticed the dates are wrong, but they don't really drive anything in the model. That's okay. Falcons, Eagles. We've got +6 on the Falcons. 6.5 is what everyone is offering except BetMGM. They're offering +7. So that means that Eagles not looking as strong. Do the Falcons up here. Let's go that 6.5, see what that looks like. It's 106. We got a 105 on Bet365. Let's plug that in. Slight EV bet here, $1.32, 0.5%. So that's a full matchup, every spread value that I can find for every NFL game for week 2. Hope that gives you enough to run with. And you can do that exact same line shopping and walkthrough. Got the total values over here. You can do the same thing, and you've got your money line odds over here, and you can line chop off all those. So, but I think spreads probably the most beneficial with this FPI data. That's where I would focus on, but definitely look at the totals. I just find totals to be a little bit less reliable versus spreads or money line. Link in the description. Good luck with your NFL Week 2 bets. Please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you for watching, and God bless.